Before I begin this video, I encourage that you please go into this with an open mind and hear the entire thing through before saying something nasty in the comments. Okay, so there has been lots of discussions about BTS speaking at the White House during AAPI Heritage Month, so here's a breakdown of things and what my opinions on the same are. For those of you who don't know, AAPI stands for Asian American and Pacific Islanders. This is an umbrella term used by individuals in America with ethnic backgrounds from countries in Asia. The month of May is celebrated as AAPI Heritage Month in order to bring awareness and celebrate Asian American cultures. For the same, the Biden administration invited multiple speakers to the White House, one of them being BTS. On 31st May, all 7 BTS members spoke at the White House about the recent surge in Asian American hate crimes and the importance of embracing each other's cultural differences. While most people celebrated their presence at the White House, Joe Biden included, there was a large amount of people who said otherwise. And no, I am not talking about the blubbering idiots at Fox News, but rather those who made more nuanced conversations about Korean men speaking on issues regarding Asian American hate crimes, an experience that is not theirs. Don't get me wrong, BTS have experienced extreme amount of racism since they started promoting in the West. And I mean extreme racism. But the experiences of 7 men who grew up in a homogeneous society, where all they saw were people who looked like them, people who spoke the same language, people who celebrated the same festivals and took part in the same culture, is not the same as those who grew up in the West. They wouldn't know what it feels like to give yourself a more English-sounding name because no one in your community can or even bothers to learn how to say names of Asian descent. They wouldn't know what it is like to carry curry or kimchi in your tiffins to school only to be made fun of by most children for eating smelly food. They couldn't know what it's like to have your achievements be written off as part of affirmative action programs or other multitude of things that are synonymous with the experiences of Asian American. So that's where the problem comes in. To be Asian American is very different from being Asian. Growing up and living in a heterogeneous society as a minority group is a difficult experience. Racism in countries like America towards said groups is high and in a way that BTS would never truly be able to comprehend. So to have them be essentially the closing act for the White House's attempt at celebrating AAPI Heritage Month can come off as a little insensitive. It shows how the Biden administration, like most non-Asian people, like to pretend that there is this monolithic Asian experience. That all Asian people are the same and their struggles and issues would be the same. It is absurd to think that it's BTS's responsibility to burden this issue on their shoulders for a country they don't even live in or even primarily work out of. I think this was a missed opportunity on the Biden administration's part, where they could have had celebrities who have similar experiences to those of the AAPI community to speak during its Heritage Month. Olivia Rodrigo could have been a good pick, or even Sandra Oh, who even though is Canadian has the similar experience of being a minority in a heterogeneous society. They could have also expanded this to individuals who come from Asian backgrounds other than those of East Asian countries, like people of South Asian descent such as Lily Singh. Or if it is important to have an American speaker, then Hasan Minhaj could have been a good choice. I understand where they came from with this. BTS is one of the biggest artists on the planet, and having them at the White House clearly got the attention of a lot of people around the world about AAPI Heritage Month. They are also one of the loudest advocates against anti-Asian hate and have spoken about these issues multiple times. I don't blame them for this at all. You can't blame them for this because it's not on them. It's on the Biden administration and its people who have generalized the Asian experience enough to think that someone from South Korea would even remotely know what it is like to be Asian in a country where the president sanctions hate against your community. Through this point of view, even the term AAPI is such a generalization because you cannot possibly expect someone from the Middle East to have cultural similarities as someone from Southeast Asia. It's people's cognitive dissonance and the need to stereotype that leads to them not even bother to create different times to celebrate East Asian, South Asian and Middle Eastern cultures. Especially when their lived experiences are all so different from each other. Anyway, this is just my take on the matter. I think they could have had BTS come and speak on general hate that Asian people experience any other day of the year, but in the little bit of time that is dedicated to the AAPI community, it would have been great to have someone who could speak on the specific issues that the AAPI community faces and work towards creating plans to resolve those in America. This is my take. Please share yours and correct me if you think I am wrong about any of this. Have a nice day and always stan BTS. Bye!